My friend moved in without asking, smugly declaring, "I'm staying as long as I want. That's what friends are for." When I tried to set boundaries, she laughed. "You wouldn't kick out your own best friend." Her jaw dropped when the landlord walked in with a notice, stating, "Actually, you're not on the lease, and you have exactly 30 minutes to pack." I live in Seattle, Washington. One-bedroom apartment, nothing fancy, but it's mine. I pay the rent, I keep it clean, and after a long day of dealing with customers at the bookstore I work at, I just want peace and quiet. My social battery dies fast. I don't party. I don't do surprise visits. I like my routine. That's important to know. A few months ago, I got a random text from an old college friend. Let's call her Mandy. We were close in college, but over time we grew apart. Different lives, different cities. I hadn't seen her in years. The text said, "Hey, I'm in town. We should catch up." I replied politely, said sure, maybe dinner sometime. I got home from work that day, and Mandy was inside my apartment. Let me say that again. Inside my apartment. She said she remembered I used to hide a spare key in the planter near the door, which I hadn't moved since college, stupidly. She helped herself in. Said she had nowhere to go and figured I wouldn't mind if she crashed for a night or two. I was too shocked to argue. I didn't want to seem heartless. She didn't look like she was in a crisis, dressed nicely, nails done, expensive luggage. But still, I figured one night wouldn't kill me. That was on a Thursday. By Monday, she was still there. By the following weekend, she had unpacked everything and moved her stuff into my closet and drawers. She left shoes by the door. Took over half the bathroom. She was eating my groceries, using my shampoo, blasting music while I was trying to read, and constantly on my couch watching trash TV with her feet up. The worst part? She started saying things like, "It's so great to have a place to breathe for a while, and you're the only real friend I have." Guilt-tripping me, making it sound like I owed her this. One night I sat her down and said, "Mandy, I think it's time we talk about how long you're planning to stay." She didn't even pause. "As long as I need." "That's what friends are for, right?" she said, sipping tea like this was some kind of vacation. I said I didn't feel comfortable having someone stay without discussing it. She laughed. "You wouldn't kick out your own best friend, would you?" she said, leaning back like she owned the place. "Yes, I would." But at that moment, I just felt cornered. I started sleeping with the door locked. I was anxious all the time. I'd go to work early and come back late, just to avoid dealing with her. Things got worse. She invited a guy over. Not just once. Repeatedly. Loud. Obnoxious. Left trash everywhere. One time they used my last clean towel and didn't even bother to wash it. Then she started leaving her dirty laundry in my hamper and complaining when I didn't do it. Took my last can of cold brew and said, "Oh, I thought you bought it for both of us." I stopped being polite. I told her she needed to start looking for another place. She didn't take it seriously. She just waved it off. "Come on, don't be dramatic. I'll figure it out eventually." Eventually? I had enough. I talked to my landlord. Told him everything. Now, I'm lucky. My landlord, Mr. Patel, is a no-nonsense kind of guy. He's cool as long as you pay rent and don't cause trouble. But he doesn't mess around when it comes to unauthorized tenants. "She's not on the lease," he said. "She's not legally allowed to be there." So we made a plan. The next morning, I told Mandy I had a work meeting and left early. But really, I waited around the corner until Mr. Patel arrived. We walked in together. Mandy was on the couch again, eating cereal from one of my bowls and scrolling her phone. She didn't even look up until she saw Mr. Patel. He held out the notice. "This is for you. You're not on the lease. You have exactly 30 minutes to pack your things and leave the premises." Silence. Then came the denial. "Wait, what? You can't be serious." He didn't blink. "I am. You're trespassing. If you don't leave, I will call the police." I stood in the doorway, arms crossed. She looked at me, betrayed, like I had done something wrong. You really called your landlord on me? I didn't say anything, just stood there and watched her pack. She tried to argue, tried to guilt-trip me again. Said she had nowhere else to go and wasn't expecting this kind of cruelty from a friend. Mr. Patel didn't care. I'm giving you 30 minutes out of kindness, he said. After that, it's the cops. She stuffed her stuff into her bags. Sloppily. She left behind some shampoo and a sock. I tossed them. She walked out without saying goodbye. Just glared. Haven't heard from her since. And that's where things stand, for now. 2 weeks went by. My place was finally quiet again. I could hear my thoughts. I started lighting candles again, cooking meals that didn't have to be shared, watching old movies without someone interrupting every 5 minutes with comments like, "This is so boring." I thought it was over, until the text came. At first, it was just a single message from a number I didn't recognize. You made a mistake. No name, no context. I ignored it. Then, more texts followed. Long, guilt-filled paragraphs. You betrayed me. You think kicking me out makes you the better person? I thought you were different. It was Mandy. I blocked the number. Then came a burner account on Instagram. She messaged me pretending to be someone else, saying they loved my apartment and asking, "Is the couch as comfy as it looks in your stories?" I knew it was her. I made my profile private. Blocked every new name that looked suspicious. Reported the accounts. I even stopped tagging my location. But that didn't stop her. The next twist hit me hard. I got to work one morning and my manager pulled me aside. She looked uncomfortable. "Hey, someone sent an email to corporate about you." I blinked. "About me?" She nodded slowly. "They said you've been stealing books, giving them away to friends, using store inventory for personal use. They even attached screenshots of what looks like messages between you and someone else, offering discounts in exchange for cash." I felt the blood drain from my face. I don't do that. I've never done anything even close to that. But the screenshots looked real, like actual messages. Same font, same tone. I realized she faked them. Mandy had somehow made it look like I was scamming the store. I spent the next week in meetings with HR. I had to fight to prove I was innocent. Luckily, my coworkers backed me up. Cameras at the register showed I never took anything off record. And the IP address from the fake email didn't match any company device. I was cleared, but the damage was done. My manager didn't look at me the same way for a while. Some coworkers avoided me. Even though I was innocent, it stuck in their minds. That's when I realized this wasn't just some petty ex-friend drama. She wanted to ruin me. Then something strange happened. I got a phone call from a number with a California area code. I let it go to voicemail. Later, I listened. "Hi, my name is Rachel. I don't know you, but I think we have someone in common. Mandy. She stayed with me a few months ago, and I think you should call me back." I called. Rachel told me her own horror story. Mandy showed up in her life the same way, claimed she was going through something, needed just a few nights. Then she wouldn't leave. She invited people over, got into her finances, used her credit card once, by mistake. When Rachel tried to kick her out, Mandy broke a mirror, cried, and played the victim to mutual friends. Sound familiar? It was the same pattern. We stayed on the phone for 2 hours. Rachel and I compared notes. She even had screenshots. Mandy had sent her screenshots of me. Mandy had been talking about me for months, saying I used her and abandoned her when she had nothing. That night I sat in my living room, lights dimmed, the city quiet beyond my windows, and I felt something I hadn't let myself feel in weeks. Rage. This wasn't over. She wasn't just some lost friend who overstepped. She was calculated, manipulative, and worst of all, she kept getting away with it. So I decided I wasn't going to stay silent. Not anymore. And that's when I started writing everything down. I started writing everything down, every message, every voicemail, every weird thing she ever did. I created a file. Screenshots, emails, my chat with Rachel, call logs, the fake Instagram accounts. I wanted everything in one place in case I needed it. A week later, a letter showed up taped to my door. No stamp, no envelope, just folded paper with tape. In big, messy letters, it said, "You'll regret this." I didn't have cameras in the hallway. The building was old, and while my landlord was firm, he wasn't big on security upgrades. Still, I reported it to him. Mr. Patel didn't waste time. He added a deadbolt to my door and told the maintenance guy to install a peephole the same day. But I knew she wasn't done. Then one morning, I got a call from my credit card company. "Hi, this is just a courtesy call to confirm some recent charges." They listed 3 places. One in Portland, one in Spokane, one online boutique that sold luxury skincare products. Total damage, over $800. I nearly dropped the phone. I hadn't been to Portland in years. I sure as hell hadn't ordered a $300 moisturizer. I froze. Mandy had seen my wallet. She'd lived in my apartment for nearly 3 weeks. She'd watched me unlock my phone 100 times. I checked my bank account. Another card had small charges, gas station snacks, random $8 apps from the App Store, a $22 Uber in Sacramento. It was like she was playing with me, reminding me she still had a grip somewhere. I called and locked everything, filed a fraud report. The bank was helpful, but the emotional toll was something else. I felt invaded, like she was still in my life, even after she was physically gone. Then I got a DM from Rachel again. "Hey, random question. Do you know someone named Eli?" Eli. That name hit me like a punch. He was an old friend of mine. Not super close, but we had hung out a few times at college. The last time we talked was maybe 2 years ago. I checked my phone. No recent messages. But when I opened Facebook, I saw that Eli had posted a photo with Mandy just 3 days ago. She was smiling in the picture, arms wrapped around him like they were longtime lovers. My stomach dropped. Then came the final twist, for now at least. Eli messaged me, totally out of the blue. He said, "Hey, weird question. Did something happen between you and Mandy? She's saying some really intense stuff." I called him. I didn't want to text. I needed to talk like a human being. Turns out, she had told him I assaulted her, that I manipulated her into living with me and kicked her out without warning, leaving her homeless. She told him I was dangerous, that I had abandonment issues and needed help. I nearly screamed. I told him everything. I didn't cry, but my voice was shaking. I told him about the couch surfing, the trash, the fake work allegations, the stolen credit card numbers, the "you'll regret this" note, the Instagram stalkers, the burner numbers, Rachel, everything. He was silent for a long time. Then he said, "She told me the same story about Rachel." I hung up and called Rachel again. We dug deeper. We found 2 more people, both women in different states. One in Denver, one in Chicago. Both had let Mandy stay, just for a little while. Both ended up with missing items, strange texts, weird drama with friends. One of them had lost her job after Mandy started rumors about her in the workplace. I felt like I was trapped in some Lifetime movie. Mandy wasn't just a messy friend. She was dangerous. We're talking about filing a report now. Multiple people are gathering everything, screenshots, emails, texts, photos, anything that shows a pattern. One of the girls in Denver knows someone who works in legal aid and says she can help us figure out if this is harassment, fraud, or both. As I'm writing this, I still sleep with the deadbolt locked and a metal bar wedged under the doorknob. I keep pepper spray on the nightstand. I don't go anywhere without checking my surroundings. I don't use public Wi-Fi. I changed all my passwords. I locked down my credit report. We built a group chat with everyone Mandy had burned. 6 of us total. We started comparing timelines, messages, photos. everything matched. The same manipulation, the same guilt trips, the same, just staying for a few days line. We even matched a few of the lies she told, recycled, word for word. Rachel's friend knew a civil attorney who agreed to take a look at what we had. He said it wasn't just messy. It was legally risky for Mandy. Fraud, identity theft, harassment, even a possible defamation case. We talked about court, but most of us didn't have the money or time for a long legal battle. So we came up with a different plan. Someone mentioned that Mandy was obsessed with her social media. She posted daily. She tracked who followed her and liked her stuff. She wanted to be an influencer, whatever that meant to her. All filtered selfies, quotes about loyalty, fake tears. She lived online. So that's where we hit her back. Each of us shared our stories. One by one. We posted our experiences, screenshots, receipts. We tagged her in everything. We kept it factual. No name calling. Just the truth. It spread fast. Some of her old friends started commenting. Then ex-boyfriends. Even people from high school popped up, saying, "Wow, I always thought something was off about her." She tried deleting her accounts. But it was too late. The screenshots lived on. Threads got reposted on bigger pages. Someone on Reddit picked it up, and it got shared in those toxic roommate and influencer fails communities. Her online rep gone. Then someone found out she had applied to a community outreach program in California. One of those young women empowerment programs. She listed herself as an advocate for mental health and former abuse survivor. We emailed the coordinator. Sent every file. She got dropped. Publicly. A week later, she sent a mass text. It was weird. Not angry, not apologetic. Just this half-baked statement about people misunderstanding her pain and how hurt people hurt people. She didn't admit to anything. Just spun it like she was the real victim. Nobody replied. But here's where it hits hard, this part's on me. For a long time, I blamed her for everything. And don't get me wrong, she did awful things. But I let her in. I didn't listen to my gut. I didn't change the hiding spot for my key. I avoided confrontation until it exploded. I made it easy for her. I learned that boundaries don't make you a bad person. Silence doesn't keep you safe. And being nice isn't always the right thing to do. The last time I saw her was in a grocery store near Pike Place. She was walking fast, hoodie up, no makeup, looking over her shoulder like someone was chasing her. She didn't see me. I didn't say a word. Just watched her disappear down the aisle. She's not in my life anymore. But part of her damage still lives here. The way I second-guess people. The way I check every door twice. The way I never share my location online. She left a scar. But here's the thing about scars. They remind you of what you survived. And I did survive. So did the others. She thought she could walk through people's lives like a wrecking ball and leave them in pieces. But this time, we didn't stay quiet. We picked up the pieces and we threw them back. Not with violence. Not with hate. But with truth. And the truth did what it always does. It exposed her. So, in the end, she didn't get revenge. We did.